I got this mail and I just stopped the car at the roadside and we just spoke about it. I was quite happy because this was my first offer internationally. I did not even look at the salary. I was looking at just the offer. I mean, I spoke to you regarding the salary negotiations later on, and we actually negotiated the salary afterwards also. But in the starting, it was just an awesome dream.
Welcome back to our YouTube channel. This is Temo from Find a Job in Germany, and today I have a lovely guest. It's great to meet you again, Arun. Arun is a senior quality assurance engineer or automation engineer, and welcome, Arun.
Thank you so much, Tomo. Thanks for having me again here.
No problem. It was really a pleasure. I mean, we just talked a little bit before we started the recording. Arun, you are originally coming from Noida, India, and now you're living where?
My job is based in Munich. I'm staying in the suburbs of Munich, but yeah, it might be difficult for people to understand. I'm staying somewhere near Munich.
Okay, perfect. Just to give a little bit of perspective here, Arun and myself, we met last year in January, so 2022. And you had plans to moving in Germany, and we guided you a little bit on your journey there. And then you got an offer quite fast from a company here in Munich 2 months later, so last year in March. And then you started working for them freelance first and for 2 or 3 months. And then you finally moved to Germany last year in September. Is that right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So first of all, I would be really interested, like you have a great career. You had a great career in India working for big MNCs and so on with your family. I mean, you have kids and everything. So why did you decide, okay, let us move abroad as a family?
Yeah. So that's a big question which we keep asking on a regular basis, Tomo. Like we, as in like me, my wife and all, because it's a big decision, yes. But I didn't want to miss this chance. Like, back in India, I had a very good career. It was a very stable job. I could have gone there also, but COVID gave me this chance that I could think about more options. Like we were all working from home. I could see that there was some. All of a sudden, I was exploring something, and I saw that there was a job in Germany which just popped up of my laptop. And then I started giving it thought, like it's kind of a void in my career that I don't have an international exposure. Yes, I have been to international locations in the past. I've worked with the international companies, but I haven't worked in an international location in the past. So shall I give it a shot or not? Then I came in touch with you guys. I just wanted to give it a shot. All went fine, and I thought, why not try? Why not go ahead with this option? And when I started reading more and more about Germany, about the work-life balance, the kind of work culture we have here, I thought this is what one should have in his career. In the long term, this might be what I'll be looking for.
Perfect. And tell me, when we got in touch, was it the first time you thought about Germany is also an option for me? Or what, when you were thinking about moving internationally, what countries did you have in your mind? And why did you finally decide, okay, Germany might be the better option?
I actually decided on Europe. The first reason was that Europe is connected. So we would get a lot of options to travel. And then again, the work culture, not just in Germany. I heard that work culture is quite good in overall Europe. So when it comes to work-life balance, like 5 days a week, 8 hours on a daily basis, like that was not the case in India with me. So I thought that this might be a good option. And out of all these countries, I could see that Germany is one of the fastest economies. Like most of the startups, most of the companies, most of the job openings were there in Germany. So why not explore Germany? Because that gives me a lot of options. In parallel, I wanted to try for other options also. And actually, I got an offer from Poland also. But yeah, I ultimately finalized on Germany because I had invested so much time in understanding about Germany that I actually wanted to come to Germany.
Okay, perfect. And do you regret that decision now? You are here now for almost a year, and I'm always telling people the first year, especially if you come with a family, is the hardest. I mean, you have to settle, organize a lot of things. So do you regret it?
No, I won't say I regret it at all, because there have been quite a lot of good things which have happened to us in this last 1 year. But yeah, if you ask me whether I miss India or I'm getting everything which I was getting there or not, you have to get rid of a lot of things which you had there. So it's a trade-off, right? It's something what you want in your life. At this point of time, I would say I'm getting whatever I wanted from Germany. If I think about the future of my kids, the balance and everything, maybe the future for my wife and all, everything is quite good here. But yeah, I miss India a lot.
What do you miss mostly in India, from India?
I miss people and food.
Favorite food? Yeah, I mean, we talked about that before. It's quite a big switch from moving to Noida to moving to a suburb from Munich. I mean, it's like living in two different worlds, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. And uh, again, the culture is quite different. Like I was saying, like we were in a joint family. I miss my mother a lot.
Yeah.
I know if she is not well, she won't tell me. But there's no chance that I can get to know everything, though I get a sense when I talk to her. So all these things are something that you have to accept, right?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying you have to take this trade-off. There are a lot of things there are a lot of things which are good in Germany, but you have to understand that you are leaving your country, not fully, but you are leaving it. So
Yeah. But you get the chance to travel to India every now and a while, right? You with your annual holidays. I think you just spent some time in India as well. You told me.
yes. I just went there for a couple of weeks. So you always have a chance, and the companies are here are very flexible. They give you a chance to work remotely as well. So that's quite good.
Perfect. Then let's talk a little bit more about the interview process. How did you end up here? What did you find different? I mean, you were fast, obviously. It took you, I think, from starting applying to getting the offer, it only took you more around a month. Yeah. Um, what were your major takeaways from if you compare the recruiting process, getting a job in Germany to the process in India?
Yeah. So as I told you, right, during the COVID time, I actually what happened was one of the companies approached me uh, for a job opening. It was from Germany. I won't name the company. I thought and that's before I got in touch with you. So I just thought, no, why not try for it? And during the interview, it was just first interview, they rejected me. I myself was a hiring manager in India, so I was kind of surprised what went wrong there. It was actually nothing but that initial communication, which maybe they did not like about me. And that's what I understood that the hiring process in Germany internationally, it would be very different than how we have in India. And to be honest, I did not apply to any company after that. I started exploring. I started reading a lot of articles, and I understood that a lot of people who are looking for jobs in Germany, they are facing this problem that they keep applying, but they never get to hear anything from the recruiters, or if they get into that recruiter call, after that, it's the same experience as I had. So I understood that there's something different, which I was not able to understand. And that's when I came across your website. In the starting, I was a bit reluctant because I did not know whether you are a scam or you are legit or not. Right? So I gave it some time. I sent you guys mail. We had some exchanges. With time, I went through your testimonials, your people's reviews and all. So I understood that I was obviously not 100% sure, but I got a lot of assurance that you guys should be legit. And I had no other options, right? So let's proceed with this, because otherwise I have nothing to lose. And when I started the process with you, I started understanding the difference on how the communication is given so much importance in the interview process in Germany. I mean, in the interviews in India, I was always interested in the tech stack, the salary, my team, and rest of the things. But here, the product, the domain, everything is given so much importance. In the first interview, you should be knowing what the product is all about, where you are getting to start, right? You are marrying that product. You shouldn't be knowing. And I'm aligned with this thought now, which I was not earlier. So all these things started happening. Uh, as you said, it did not take more than 1 or 2 months. It was quite fast. In the starting, I think, if I remember correctly, it's been some time, but we refined my resume, my CV, so that it gets filtered during the HR process, because I understand HR has to look at many resumes. And after that, it was on to me. Yes, you guided me on what all things and how I should be communicating with the people, but it's up to the candidate also. And I want to let people know that yes, the coaching is quite good. You will have an understanding of how to get through, but then you have to perform. You still have to perform.
Yes.
So that's there as well. So yeah, but overall it was quite smooth.
Yeah, I'm always saying we can push you, but we cannot pull you, right? In the end, especially in tech rounds, you have to perform naturally, and that makes sense because if you are not good technically, we cannot buy you a job. If you get a job here and then you cannot perform, you will not be happy in Germany. So let's talk about the tech rounds. What did you feel? Is that different to India? What was different?
They're quite different. In fact, they're quite different within Germany also. It depends if you're talking to a big company, a big MNC, or a startup. Most of the startups are quite fast because they want to close the hiring quite fast. But at the same time, the big companies, they are quite slow. But I've seen one thing which is quite common, and I would say 70-80% of the companies, that most of them are giving some technical challenge, which is not the case in India. So they give you good enough time. It can be 2 days, it can be 3 days, it can be a week or so, but they give you time that you can solve the challenge. And most of the times you feel like the challenge is not that tricky because you are a techie, you have been working on solving problems like that. So you can actually solve the problem in 1 or 2 days. But I would say that the selection criteria, or like how you differ from other candidates, is how you solve that problem. So it's not just solving the problem, it's about optimizing the problem, how it will be scaled in the future and all. So think yourself from the interviewer's point of view, that if you were in a company and this solution has to work for a longer period in the company, how you would solve that. And that's very different in India. In India, it's most of the times it is technical problems, data structure algorithms and all, which you solve, which you talk about, and you get to the selection. But this one is quite different when it comes to the tech stack. Yeah. And as I told in the starting, cultural behavior are also quite different.
And if you should name some hard facts, some tech stacks, some technologies you should be good at, what would you pick?
From QA standpoint of view, I would say Python and Java when it comes to API automation. In the UI, I would say Selenium and Cypress should suffice. Okay. But at the same time, I would say, I'm sorry to interrupt you here, Tamo, but cloud and the latest technologies, they play a very, very important role. When I say UI and API automation, please don't think that this is enough. Please understand that the whole pipeline is something which is going to help you shine as a distinguished candidate out of all. So these things, anything which is latest in the market, like Kubernetes, clouds, Docker, and all, but have a practical understanding of the same. So, like in one of my challenges, I just want to give this example. In one of my challenges, even though I was asked to give a solution for the problem, but I gave the interviewers the whole container where he could just run the container, a Docker container, and he has all the reports in front of him. So it gave him, even though he did not ask me to give a solution in the form of a Docker container, but I gave the solution because I'm selling myself, right? I want to tell him that I know these things also. Yeah. So I would say front-end automation, Selenium, Cypress, API automation, Python, Java, or even if you know some other language, C# and all, that would work, but mostly Python and Java. But combine that with a whole pipeline so that you can give an end-to-end solution to it. That would definitely help.
Cool. And what would you say about the technical standard? Is that higher or is that lower if you compare the interviews you had?
I would say the questions are very high level. It's up to you how much you can showcase yourself. Like I told you about the challenge, right? If you look at the challenge, it looks as if it is very simple. But actually the interviewer is expecting you to go in quite a lot of depth. So if you just look at the question, it seems it is lower. But it's up to the candidates that they can go quite a lot in the depth and they can sell themselves.
And how did you feel then when you got the offer? How did that feel, that moment? Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember I was actually driving. I got this mail. Me and my wife, I got this mail and I just stopped the car at the roadside and we just spoke about it. I was quite happy because this was my first offer internationally. I did not even look at the salary. I was looking at just the offer. I mean, I spoke to you regarding the salary negotiations later on, and we actually negotiated the salary afterwards also. But in the starting, it was just an awesome dream.
Awesome. Perfect. That sounds great. Speaking of driving, I think thanks a lot. We're going to talk about that in the second part of our interview. So there, for the technical part, for the interview process, for the motivation of coming here, is there anything you wanted to add, which I forgot maybe my question?
Could you come again with the question?
I said, is there anything you wanted to add regarding the interview process, or generally any advice you wanted to share when interviewing with a company or to approach companies, what you found especially important, which we forgot, which we haven't talked about yet?
Yeah, one thing I would like to highlight again, which in a way I mentioned, that do a proper research on the company and the product, which we tend to miss when we are interviewing in India. Well, most other candidates might be doing, I was not doing. So when you are interviewing for a company, it's not just the tech stack or the team, which is definitely one of the most important things as a candidate. But understand what the product is all about, understand what the team is about, understand what the domain is about. Because if I am working for a product, I myself should be convinced that this is the product which is going to work in the market. So, and this helps you in the very first interview with the companies also. Understand what the product is, understand how you can help in the longer end in the product, whether you are going to add value to that or not, other than the tech stack. We all are techies. I know everyone is quite capable of clearing the technical interviews, but this is something which was missing, at least for me. So have that in you for sure.
Perfect. That's a very good advice. And we also teach it in the course a lot and train that a lot. And yeah, thanks, Arun, for that interesting interview. It was a really pleasure to meet you again. And yeah, see you soon. We do a second version of that interview, a second part of the interview where we talk about working in Germany, living in Germany, and maybe also how to drive a car in Germany. You told me in the beginning. So stay tuned for the second part of the interview with Arun. And for now, thanks a lot for your time and see you soon. Auf Wiedersehen.
Sure. Thanks, Tomo. Thanks for having me here. Auf Wiedersehen.
All right. If you're also working in tech and IT and you want to move to Germany, get a job here, then get in touch with us. Below this video, you find a video training. Watch that video first, get an understanding how we work, and then you book a call with us. First, you have a get-to-know call where we check if we can help you, because we can't really work with everybody. We can just work with you if you have the right tech stack and mindset. So if there is a demand for you here in the German job market, and if that is the case, we move on to a second call, which we call career strategy consultation, where we could discuss things in more detail in the video call. And after that, we start the program together. And then usually it takes 2 to 3 months to get an offer. And then you will also be coming here to Germany and work here. So stay tuned. See you soon. Bye-bye.